Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Tanya, and this is Creations with Tanya. Today we are continuing with our Sewcialites quilt along from Fat Quarter Shop, and we are on block number 3, and it's called Affection Block, designed by Bridget Heitland, and we need 2 background pieces cut to 4.5-inch square, which I have labeled A, and then 10 2-inch squares, which I've labeled B. And we will need, in the printed fabrics, C, 1 4.5-inch square, and D, we will need 10 2.5-inch squares. And there are 3 different sizes you can do. There's a 3-inch block, a 6-inch block, and a 9-inch block. I'm doing the 6-inch block, and whatever you want to do, go right ahead. I have linked in the description below where you can download the PDF from the Fat Quarter Shop. So basically, once you're done this block, it should be unfinished 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. The first step we're going to do is we're going to take B and D squares, and we're going to set A and C aside. That's the last step. And what we're going to do is we are going to take the B, and on the wrong side of this background square, we are going to draw from the center line, from the center diagonally, a 1/4-inch seam on each side. So I just am lucky I have this 1/4-inch seam ruler, and I just put it diagonally from point to point with the line in the middle, and then I just take a pencil or whatever you have and draw 2 lines. And then you're going to take D fabric and you're going to put them right sides together, and then you are going to sew on these lines here, all 10 of them. And then I usually chain piece, so then I'll just have them all in a row, and I've already gone ahead and drawn out these, and then I'll just sew them along. You don't have to draw the lines in if you have diagonal seam tape. You can use that, it's easy as well. So once you get these all sewn together, then what you'll do is you'll cut them. Right, so just pretend like this is sewn, like this, and then you'll cut them right here. So then you'll have 2 half-square triangles. And once you're done that, I'll show you the next step you need for doing the assembly of half-square triangles. Alright, as you can see here, I have chain pieced my squares together, and I'm just going to trim them, like get them separated. And then what I do is I take my ruler, whatever ruler you have, I'm just using this one, and I just line up the edge from corner to corner and cut it, and there you go, you have your 2 half square triangles. Then what you're going to do is iron the seams open. So I usually iron one side, and then I will iron the seams open. I also will then as well, once I iron one side, I trim off these dog ears, and then I iron the rest of the seam open because it's just easier that way for me. But you can do whatever you want. So when I'm done doing this and ironing them open, I'll show you. Actually, let me show you right now. So I'll do that in a minute. So the next thing you're going to do is Make sure your half square triangles are squared up to 1.5 inches. And I've already done that. And now the next step is assembling 2 small half square triangles together. And it's going to be your dark pieces, or whatever color you're going to use, is going to go like this. So it's going to be like a flying geese. And then you'll put these right sides together. This is why they recommend you having the seams ironed open, as it's going to be really bulky and these pieces are quite small. So then you can pin this and then do your 1/4 inch seam, and you will get this block. And you'll need 2 of these for this block, and they should come to 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So there's that. And then your next step is you're going to take 4 of your half square triangles, and you're going to put the darker fabric on the bottom with the white fabric, background fabric pointing up. So just like this. And then you're going to put them together just like this, and then you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam, and then once that's done, you'll then iron open your seams and sew those 2 together, and you should have 2 of these once you're done. So just like that. And then this should be 1.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And once that's done, you will then, in step 3, take your flying geese piece and sew it just like this. Right sides together, and then iron open. See, I've ironed open the seams, and it's just less bulk. So just like that, and then do that, and once this is done, you should have 2 of these, and then we will go on to the next step. I'm gonna go sew these together, and I will be back to show you the next step. Alright, as you can see, I have sewn my half square triangles together, and now the next step is to do the middle center of the block, which is right in here. So you're going to take fabric A and C, and they're 4.5 inches square, and you're going to draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of the fabric. You are going to then put them right sides together and sew right on the line you drew. Then what you're going to do is, after that's done, gonna cut a 1/4 inch seam for where this sewn line is, and you can keep this, put this aside for another half square triangle for a different project, or throw it away, it's up to you. And then I'm gonna iron open the seams, and then we will start laying our blocks in rows together and finish off the block. Okay, so now I have sewn the middle block, as you can see here, 4.5 inch square, and I've laid out what the rows should look like. So the rows, 2 pieces you did with the flying geese on each end, that's the way rows, the top row and the bottom row are going to be, and this is the way the middle row is going to be. So I'm going to sew these 2 pieces on each side first, iron open the seams, and then I'm going to sew the top and the bottom to the center row. Alright, so I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I have joined the 2 sides to the middle here, and now I am going to join the top and the bottom to the middle row, and I am going to use pins so that it is accurate enough, so hopefully my points will all come together and be nice. Alright, I'll be right back with the finished block and let you know what the next block is so you can get your fabrics ready for next week. Okay, there you go. There's block number 3. It's called the Affection block from the Sewcialites Quilt Sew Along. And next week will be block number 4, which is called Spirited block. For block number 4, you will require the following fabrics. Background fabric for A, B, C, and printed fabric D, E, F. So I'm still working on the 6-inch block, so I will need 2 3-inch square A blocks. I'll need 2 2.5-inch square B blocks, and 4 1.5-inch squares C blocks, and that's in the background color. And then for the printed color, I will need 2 3.5-inch squares for D, 3 2.5-inch squares for E, and 4 1.5-inch squares for F. Get your fabrics ready, and we'll do block number 4 next weekend. Alright, I hope you all have a wonderful quilt day. See you in the next video. Bye!